Greetings. Once again, it's your boy, Cypher Da MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs. Back with you once again. We made it through another week. But our journey's not yet over. We have another week coming up.
Another one.
Our journey's not yet over, and we're still on the journey. And I say we, because I'm on this journey with you. To be the best version of ourselves. If you're new to the podcast, definitely thank you for stopping by. DJ is on point. Steph Curry.
Bruh.
We're gonna get through this. Today's episode, as you can see, is pretty much one of a celebratory manner. We're using our SAT words today, people. We're gonna use it. But before we get into anything, of course, you know that we have to get into our disclaimers, because guess what? The way I look at it, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. You just don't know how much I appreciate that. Oh, you know we got to give a shout out to Jay-Z. We're going to get into our disclaimers. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Nope.
I'm not a family therapist. I'm not a sex therapist. I'm not a relationship expert. I don't have any masters or doctorates on my wall from Harvard. I am just a regular Joe Schmo. Just a regular guy giving you the benefit of his experience. But also taking a look at life from a different perspective that maybe, just maybe, gets overlooked or missed as we, again, are on this journey to be the best version of ourselves. And I say we because I'm on this journey with you. I've been trying to improve every day, just like I know you are. So hopefully we're boosting each other up, we're motivating each other, we're inspiring each other. Again, if you're new to the podcast, thank you for stopping by. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Drop a mic on the like button for your boy. It's free. Drop a mic on you know what I meant. Drop a mic on the like. That's what you're going to do. Drop a mic on the like. Just got a t-shirt idea. Merch is coming. I know merch. I've been saying it for a while. Merch is coming. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be good for you guys. I don't want you to get product like you get when you go on a cruise. I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone, but you go get one of these t-shirts like on a cruise from one of the, local shops when you get to an island, and you get the t-shirt and it looks good, it feels good, and I mean, you're not putting it on right then and there, but you're like, oh, this is my size. And then when you come back to the States, what happens? You wash the shirt and it shrinks to the size of a Build-A-Bear. Like it no longer fits you. It can't fit anyone in your family now. I do not want that to happen. We've been rocking with each other for too long for me to give you that type of, treatment. I'm not going to do that. So bear with me. Merch day is coming. Trust me, you'll know when it drops. There's going to be a parade. There's going to be mayors in your towns that are going to declare half a work day. You don't have to go to work. You're going to get paid for that day. You don't have to go to work. You're going to go to whatever town square that you live in. You're going to go there, and then shirts and hats and hoodies, they're going to fall from the sky. They're going to fall from the sky, and you're going to be like, wow, he was right. Merch day has dropped. No pun intended. Well, maybe a pun was intended. I don't know. But no, today's episode pretty much is just, it's a milestone that we've hit. We've hit together, and I thank you for this milestone. We've hit 200 videos. Now you might say, well, that's not something that we did together, but that's where I disagree. We're going to have to, agree to disagree on that one. And here's why. Again, this episode doesn't have any particular format. because it's just merely to say thank you for your support, thank you for your views, your any comments left, any feedback left, the sharing of the podcast, the sharing of the videos, all that good stuff. All that plays a part in getting the message out there to grow. And it's one that I don't take lightly. I really felt the need to make this particular episode, because, I've come to understand that we've often, as human beings, myself included, you take life for granted. I admit it. Sometimes we have to admit these things to ourselves. I've taken life for granted. I've taken myself for granted. Sometimes, we take people who support us for granted, and I don't want to any longer do that. I don't want to any longer work in that same vein, so to speak. I want to be able to kind of just say, hey, thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you for, watching this video. I appreciate you. Now, it's very easy to say that after each video. Thank you for watching the video. But I wanted to dedicate an actual episode, an actual video to whereas it's a thank you. I've told this story a few times. Pretty much the YouTube channel was started not really simultaneously with the podcast. I think the YouTube channel came perhaps maybe a few weeks later, but they both were started in 2021. And I wanted to try to get the message out there as much as possible of basically just us, not a platform to bash, a particular gender, but to emphasize the importance of, or the importance of the mental health of men, and for us to get back to who we are and acknowledge that we are important, acknowledge that we have value, acknowledge that we have worth, that we are not just robots, no matter what society says about us, or no matter how society paints the picture of us, we are the authors and the artists of our own lives, of our own, how we are viewed. It's very easy for society to say, oh, well, men are this, men are that, and it's going to be bought in by certain people, men included, men and women. But as an individual, you get to paint who you are. You get to paint what you want society to view you as. And I wanted to kind of shine a light that, hey, just because you're viewed as, a provider doesn't mean that that is just what you are. And, this was on the heels of myself, I didn't come out of COVID unscathed like many of us, I was fortunate enough to not lose anyone to the pandemic. But it did hit home for me because I, had COVID. I was in the hospital, and, I was one of the ones who thought, what will happen if something happens to me? I had that mindset. What happens if something happens to me? What is going to be taken care of? What is not going to be taken care of? And it was a feeling of helplessness that I've never felt before. And that's when, through the poking and prodding and them taking blood and waking me up, I didn't get any rest really in the hospital. Really, no one really rests in a hospital. No one, but, every few hours, oh, we have to take blood. I'm like, don't you have some? Like, what did you do with the other blood I just gave you like a couple of hours ago? Are you playing with it? Are you what are you doing with it? So and you know, through all that up and down and all that sort of stuff, I was like, man, I've never felt so helpless before. And that's when I felt that the Creator, that God sat down on my bed and like, I need to talk to you for a second. And I really had to kind of just listen to what he was wanting me to do, or saying like, listen, I gave you a voice. I gave you something powerful. You know, I gave you something to use, and I need for you to use it in a way that is going to benefit others. You know, it's not just for you. I need for you to use it to benefit others. And, you know, I was so consumed with, you know, anger as to why I was in the hospital, and angry at COVID, and just filled with anger, that I finally had to sit there and listen. Are you someone that is ready to strike out on their own and get their first apartment? You and your roommates are all ready and set to go to live the good life and pretty much get your life started? Or are you about to leave college and looking for a new place to live in a new city with your new degree? Well, guess what? There's a company called Credit Rent Boost that will allow you to get credit for the rent that you pay and get it reported to the credit bureaus. This will not only allow you to boost your credit, but also set you up long term, so when you are ready to make your first purchase as a homeowner. So give them a try. CreditRentBoost.com, and you can use promotion code OVM24522. It may be the best decision you ever made. I mean, I was, you know, I had to listen. I had to sit there and just kind of, oh my gosh, why? And it was at that point that I realized, you know, if I were to leave this earth, what would my legacy be? What would I be leaving behind? What would be my impact on others be? Oh, he's a jolly old soul. Who am I, Santa? You know, oh, he was a funny guy. You know, he told jokes. He was pretty laid back. You know, the usual, you know, type of descriptors of me that I've heard some people say. I'm like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what would I leave behind that you can say, because of him, I was able to get through this time in my life. Because of him, I was able to, get motivated to start a business, or love myself more, or whatever the case may be. And then it was a matter of, how do I go about doing that? You know, I truly feel that God gives us the tools that we need in order to impact the lives of others in a positive way, in a good way. It's just a matter of us first acknowledging him and going to him and asking him, okay, how do I do this? Like, you know, make a way, and that was in April of 2021, having COVID and recovering and things of that nature. And I was like, you know what? I have to take my health into better consideration. I have to, I'm still working on that, by the way. It's not easy. I realize that it's not easy to try to do the healthy, the healthy type of lifestyle, as far as, getting up at 5 a.m. and running or going to the gym. It's not easy. It's definitely a lifestyle change. But I'm working on it. So, because I do have a goal that I want to get to. But for the most part, I was like, okay, where do I go? What do I do? Like I said, April of 2021, and a few months later, I was like, because I wanted to do something that was going to be impactful and that I was going to be consistent in. Have you ever thought of possibly starting your own podcast? Well, I can tell you firsthand, it can feel overwhelming if you don't know where to get started, and that's where Buzzsprout comes in. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch a professional podcast, already helping over 100,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout will get your podcast into every major podcasting platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. You also will get a great-looking podcasting website and so much more. To start your own podcast and get a $20 Amazon gift card, follow the link in the show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you and helps support our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast. So a few months later, August of 2021, because I wanted to have a good starting point. If you go back to the very first episode, I believe it was the very first week or very first Sunday in August, or maybe the last week in July, I can't remember, that I just gave it a try. Believe it or not, I am not a big fan of my own voice. I mean, I understand how my voice is. I understand the impact of my voice, but I don't really like to hear my voice. Like, are you one of those people that when you hear your voice on a voicemail or hear yourself talking from a recorded message, you're like, is that my voice? Is that how I sound? I'm that guy. But to other people's ears, it's like, oh wow, he has a voice. Oh, Barry White. I'm like, I don't know. Practice what you preach. Anyway, Barry White humor. Alright then. But August 2021. So simultaneously, maybe a few weeks later, I started uploading to YouTube because I wanted to first see how it was done. I've never done it before. And when it comes to doing anything that I've never done before, I always want to make sure that I do it as best as possible. So it's going to take me some time to kind of get it right. Hence, I'm using my SAT words, people. Hints. Not hints. Like, give me a hint. Hints. Work with your boy. All right, then. Hence merch day. So, I want everything to, so when it hits the ground running, you're not wondering, okay, where do I go? Or why does this not work? Or why does the website show me, your images of, crocodiles fighting? I don't know. I don't want it to be that. I want it to be, look nice and stuff. So, but from that point on, I've tried to be as consistent as possible, mainly with the podcast, because I really didn't know exactly how I wanted everything to kind of flow to the YouTube channel. So, after I got the hang of it for a while, I started to upload, more consistently. I'm still a few episodes behind on the YouTube channel, so you will be seeing some uploads pop up if you've subscribed to the YouTube channel and you see, oh, okay, man, wait a minute. We're on episode this, and he's episode, this is a previous episode. It's, like I said, I got so much that I want to do. I've had to kind of slow down and say, you know what, let me catch up. Let me be that small fry, what he said, what he heard from the mama fry. You better catch up. All right. So I was like, I'm going to post those, but to be consistent in what I'm doing and to make sure that each and every Sunday a new episode comes to you guys. Again, I want to get back to the 2-week episode, 2 episode a week format that I originally had, only because I want to incorporate a different element, but I want to be sure that I will be consistent in that element as well. I don't want to say, hey, let's do this, and then, you're looking for that second episode or whatever, that midweek episode, and then all of a sudden it doesn't show up. It's like, wait a minute, is this CBS? Did the show get canceled mid-season? What happened? So definitely be on the lookout for that. But this overall has just been a great journey for me so far, because I realized that as much as we have made strides as human beings, not all of us can be consistent in certain things outside of work. We get up, go to work, because we're getting paid to do that. Believe it or not, I don't get paid to do this. I do this because it's on my heart to do. It's my purpose to do. Not many people can say that I have a purpose, I know what it is, and I'm just going to do it. Not many people can say, well, I want to be consistent in this. They might start strong for a few days or a few weeks, and then, like many of us, when it comes to losing weight, we fall off or we taper off. I believe in consistency. I believe in consistency is the key to anything. It's the key to success. It's the key to fulfillment. It's the key to life. And sometimes, you know, you have to celebrate those moments. Just take a quick pause, and this is my moment to celebrate with you. 200 episodes. Go check out the YouTube channel, The Real Cypher TV. It's all one word, no spaces. The Real Cypher TV. And with that being said, I continue to say thank you because it's on my heart, and I appreciate you. And before you love anyone else, you must first love yourself. And I'm out this thing. Cypher, the Bronx Dawn.
I will not lose. Let me tell you dudes what I do to protect us. Shoot at you actors like movie directors.